Hello class 8, how are you all? So we had been studying chapter number 2, microorganism. Yes, last time whatever we studied we will revise again. Okay, so last time we studied about vaccination. Yes, why do we give vaccine to children and infant? Yes, why are vaccination given to children and infant? Last time we studied about vaccination. Let's revise again. Okay, so when any disease carrying microbes, yes, means pathogen, when a disease carrying microbes enter into our body, then what happens? Then what happens when a disease carrying microbes enter into our body? Yes, in our body antibodies are present. In our body antibodies are present, natural antibodies. Yes, antibodies are those which fight and kill the disease carrying microbes. Yes, which fight and kill the disease carrying microbes. Antibodies are those which fight and kill the disease carrying microbes. Yes, so antibodies fight the invader. Invader means disease carrying microbes. Okay, invader means enemy. Invader means enemy. So antibodies fights against disease carrying microbes, and antibody also remember how to fight again disease carrying microbes if it enters again. If dead or weakened microbes are introduced to healthy body, then the body will fight and kill them by producing suitable antibody. Yes, the antibody remains in the body and we are protected from disease causing microbes. This is how a vaccination works. This is how a vaccine works. Yes, when vaccine is injected to your body, when vaccine is given to your body, then it produces antibody. It produces antibodies in your body. It produces antibody. Yes, and when any disease carrying microbes enter in your body, antibody fight and kill those disease carrying microbes. Okay, several diseases, many diseases, like if I tell you example, smallpox, hepatitis, TB means tuberculosis, cholera, all these are prevented by vaccination. Yes, all these are prevented by vaccination. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, last time we also studied about soil fertility. Yes, we studied about soil fertility last time. So how to improve soil fertility means how to make it better, how to enrich with nutrients. So there are many small microorganisms which enrich soil with nutrients like nitrogen. Yes, which enrich the soil, because continue cropping done by farmer, because of it there is shortage occur in field in the soil. So to again refill it, to replenish it, soil fertility is important. So generally what happens, farmer use fertilizer or manure to replenish this problem, but there are few microorganisms which can improve soil fertility. There are few microorganisms which can improve soil fertility, means They can enrich the soil with nutrients like nitrogen. Bacteria and blue-green algae. Yes, bacteria and blue-green algae are able to fix nitrogen. Yes, we know that nitrogen is present in our environment, but in the form of gas, and plant cannot use it directly. Plant cannot use it directly. So bacteria and green algae, they convert the nitrogen into suitable form and enrich the soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. So some bacteria and blue-green algae are able to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich the soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. Okay, these microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixer. Yes, such kind of microbes like bacteria, blue-green algae are known as biological nitrogen fixer. As you can see in the picture, yes, can you see in the picture? Biological nitrogen fixer, these are bacteria and blue-green algae. I hope you understood. Now let's move on to the next point. Okay kids, in this class we will study about harmful microorganisms. Yes, in this class we will study about harmful microorganisms. Okay. So what are harmful microorganisms? Okay. Harmful microorganisms are responsible for many diseases. Yes, they are disease causing microorganisms. Harmful microorganisms are disease causing microorganisms. Due to them, there are many diseases occur in human beings, in plants, as well as in animals. Yes, and such kind of harmful microorganisms are also known as pathogen. Yes, we can also call them pathogen. So microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Yes, they are harmful in many ways. Maybe they are present in dirty food, dirty water, in dirty environment where you are living. So they are present in everywhere. And microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings. Yes, some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings. Plants and animals also. Such disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Yes, such disease causing microorganisms, such harmful microorganisms, such disease causing microorganisms, or you can say such harmful microorganisms are known as pathogens. So pathogens are those microorganisms which causes diseases. Pathogens are those harmful microorganisms which causes diseases, and such disease causing microorganisms are known as pathogens. Some microorganisms spoil food, clothing and leather. Yes, these microorganisms can spoil food. These microorganisms can spoil your clothing. Please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. So I hope that kids you understood. Now we will write about microorganisms. We will read about microorganisms in detail one by one, and the disease due to these microorganisms. Okay, now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, let's start reading about harmful microorganisms. Let's start reading about harmful microorganisms, or you can say disease causing microorganisms. You can also say disease causing microorganisms, or you can also call them pathogens. Yes, you can call disease causing microorganisms, you can call harmful microorganisms, you can call pathogen. There are three names I am giving you. Yes, I am telling you three names. First, pathogen. Second, disease causing microorganisms. Third, harmful microorganisms. Okay, how do they transfer? What is their mode of transmission? How does microorganism affect a healthy person? Yes, actually pathogen means disease causing microorganism. They can enter. Their mode of transmission may be air. Yes, their mode of transmission may be air, means they can go through air. When you breathe in, when you take air, when you breathe in, that time pathogen can enter into your body. Yes, this is possible. If the air is not pure, then through air, pathogens can enter into your body. If you are drinking water, the pathogens can enter into your body by water. Yes, if you are drinking dirty water. If you are eating food, if you are eating stale food, dirty food, then they can also enter. So pathogen enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. Yes, pathogen enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink, or the food we eat. Okay, and they can also transmit direct contact. Yes, when you comes in physical contact, direct contact. When you comes in contact with infected person, means if I am not well, if any problem if I have, then through direct contact it can transmit into your body. Yes, if I have any disease, then it can transmit into your body if you comes in contact with me. Yes, okay. So from an infected person to healthy person, it can transmit, or it can transmit to any animals maybe. Yes, through animals it can also transmit. Remember, through animals. Yes, animals are also mode of transmission. Through animals, through air, through water. Yes, through animals, through air, through water, through food, it can transmit. So microbes means harmful microorganism, means pathogen. Yes, pathogen can transmit through the air, through the water, through the food, and through the animals. Yes, okay. So, and through direct contact. Yes, okay. So microbial diseases can spread from an infected person to healthy person. Okay, through air, water, food, or physical contact, means direct contact. Physical contact means direct contact. So if any disease is spreading, if any disease is transmitting, if any disease is spreading, means going from one person to another person, or through air, water, animals. If any disease is spreading, transmitting from infected person to healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact, then such kind of diseases are known as communicable diseases. Such kind of diseases are known as communicable diseases. If any disease spread from water, food, physical contact, air, then such kind of diseases are known as communicable diseases. Example of communicable diseases are cholera, common cold, chicken pox, TB. Yes, common cold, TB, chicken pox, all these are communicable diseases. So pathogen are responsible for such kind of diseases. I am giving you 10 seconds, please write down. So kids, pathogen enter our body through the air we breathe. Yes, pathogen enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. They can also get transmitted by direct contact with an infected person or carried through animals. Microbial diseases that can spread from one person to infected person means one person, infected person to healthy person, infected person to healthy person. Yes, microbial diseases that can spread from an infected person to healthy person through air, water, food or physical contact are called communicable diseases. Examples of such diseases include cholera, common cold, chicken pox, tuberculosis. I hope you understood. Now let's move on to the next point. Okay kids, so we are talking about disease causing microorganism. Yes, means harmful pathogen. Yes, the topic is continue. Let's do it continue. Now let's talk about common cold. Common cold is also a communicable disease. Yes, it can transmit from infected person to healthy person. Yes, communicable disease. Common cold is a communicable disease. It can transmit from infected person to healthy person through air. So how? When a person suffering from common cold, suppose I have common cold issue, I have common cold problem. If I sneeze, SNEEZE, when I will sneeze, then the droplets which are coming out of my nose, yes, these droplets of moisture carrying thousands of virus. Yes, there are many viruses present in droplets when you sneeze. These droplets will spread in air. And if you are sitting near to me, then through these droplets which are carrying virus, they may enter in your body, they may enter in a healthy person body while breathing, during breathing. When you will breathe in air, then these droplets which are carrying virus, they can transmit into your body through air. Yes, in this way common cold disease you will suffer from common cold disease. Yes, when a person suffering from common cold sneeze, find droplets of moisture. When a person suffering from common cold sneeze, find droplets of moisture carrying thousands of virus are sprayed in the air. The virus may enter in the body of healthy person while breathing. I hope you understood. Please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay kids, I hope you understood. Now let's continue it. Let's move on the next point. Okay kids, as you know that communicable disease can spread. Communicable diseases can spread through air, water, dirty food and physical contact, or through animals. Yes, through animals. There are many insects and animals which are responsible for many disease. Yes. So there are many insect and animals which carries disease causing microbes. Yes. They act as a carrier of disease causing microbes. They act as a carrier of pathogens. Yes. So there are many diseases which occur due to insect. For example, if I talk about a insect which is nothing but housefly. Housefly is an insect. Yes. So it is also responsible for many diseases. Yes. So housefly acts as a carrier of pathogen, or you can say housefly act as a carrier of disease carrying microbes. Yes. So housefly is one such carrier. The houseflies, what do they do? Houseflies sit on dirty things. Houseflies sit on garbage. Housefly sit on animals' excreta. Yes, houseflies sit on animal excreta. Means they sit on solid waste. Yes, excreta means solid waste. So they sit, and when they sit, then what happens? The harmful microorganisms which are present in garbage and animal excreta, the harmful microorganisms which are present in excreta and waste garbage, they stick to houseflies' body. They stick to their body. Yes, pathogens stick to their body. Yes, they attach to their body. And when these houseflies sit on the food that you are eating, which is uncovered, when they sit on uncovered food, then they transfer the pathogen in the food and make it dirty. And when you eat such kind of food, or you can say such kind of food is actually called contaminated food, because pathogens are transmitted. So when we will use the word contaminated food, when pathogens are transmitted to the food, then such kind of food we call it contaminated food. And when you eat, whoever eats the contaminated food is likely to get sick. Yes, that person become ill, that person become unhealthy by eating contaminated food. So it is advisable. Yes, that's why I want to give you advice that you should keep the food covered. Yes. And do not eat uncovered food items. Yes, do not eat uncovered food items. Okay. Another example of a carrier is the female Anopheles mosquito. Yes, mosquito. The name of mosquito is Anopheles, which is female. Yes, Anopheles carries the parasite of malaria. Yes, it carries parasite of malaria. And there is one more mosquito. The name of mosquito is Aedes. Aedes. Aedes mosquito, which act as a carrier of dengue virus. Yes, dengue virus. So, Anopheles, female mosquito, is responsible for malaria disease. Which mosquito is responsible for malaria disease? Anopheles. And which mosquito is responsible for dengue disease? Aedes. Which mosquito is responsible for dengue disease? Aedes. And both are female mosquito. Yes. Anopheles mosquito, which carries the parasite. Yes, it carries the parasite. Which pathogen does Anopheles carry? Which pathogen does Anopheles carry? Parasite of malaria. And which pathogen does Aedes mosquito carry? Dengue virus. Yes. Okay. Please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. So kids, there are some insects and animals which act as carriers of disease causing microbes. Housefly is one such carrier. The flies sit on the garbage and animal excreta. Pathogens stick to their body. When these flies sit on uncovered food, they may transfer the pathogens. Yes. Whoever eats the contaminated food is likely to get sick. So it is advisable to always keep the food covered. Avoid consuming uncovered items of food. Another example of a carrier is the female Anopheles mosquito, which carries the parasites of malaria. Female Aedes mosquito, which act as a carrier of dengue virus. I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, as you can see the picture of female mosquito Anopheles. Yes, can you see the picture of female mosquito Anopheles, which is responsible for malaria, parasite of malaria. It is the carrier of parasite of malaria. Yes, Anopheles mosquito is responsible for malaria disease. Anopheles mosquito is responsible for malaria disease. Yes. So now the question is where do mosquitoes breed? Where do mosquitoes breed? All the mosquitoes breed in water. Yes, all the mosquitoes breed in water. So please remember, during rainy season, yes, during monsoon season, mosquitoes breed in water. So you should not let the collect water. Yes, sometime during rainy season, water gets collected. Water gets collected in tire, in empty container, in cooler. It remains in flower pot. So you should not let water collected anywhere. Yes, do not allow to collect water. Because when water is collected, then mosquitoes start growing in water. Yes, when water is collected, mosquitoes starts growing in water. Mosquitoes start breeding in water. Yes, so all mosquitoes breed in water. Hence, one should not collect water anywhere, in coolers, tires, flower pot, etc. So what should you do? You should keep the environment clean and dry. Yes, you should keep the environment clean and dry. Yes, by keeping the surroundings, means the area around you. The area around you, you should keep it dry, not filled with water. Yes. So by this way you can prevent mosquitoes from breeding. By this way you can prevent mosquitoes from breeding. Okay. I hope you understood. All mosquitoes breed in water. Hence one should not let water collect anywhere in cooler, tire, flower pot. By keeping the surrounding clean and dry, we can prevent mosquitoes from breeding. I hope you understood. Okay. Now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, as you can see the index related to disease causing microbes in animals. Yes, disease causing microorganisms in animals, as you can see the index. Yes, so I had shown you this index Last time I think I had shown you. Yes. So you can see 4 column. I think you cannot see clearly. Maybe possible that you cannot see clearly all the column. First column, I am speaking slowly. And I am reading so you can understand and write. Okay. In first column, we will write human disease. So you can write, you will make 4 column. You will make 4 column. Yes. You will make 4 column. Okay. You will make 4 column. In first column, write the name human disease. Yes. Write the name of first column human disease. HUMAN DISEASE disease. Second column, the name of second column is causative microorganism. Yes, write in second column causative microorganism. Yes, means which are the pathogen. Okay, causative microorganism, or you can write the word pathogen. In second column, or you can write causative microorganism. I am speaking the spelling of causative microorganism. CAUSATIVE, causative microorganism. You already know the spelling of microorganism. CAUSATIVE, causative microorganism. Okay. Third column. In third column, write mode of transmission. Yes, in third column, write mode of transmission. Okay. MOD, mode, of transmission. TRANSMISSION, transmission. Mode of transmission. Okay, kids. Fourth column. In fourth column, you will write preventive measure. Means how to protect. Preventive measures. So what is the spelling of preventive measures? PREVENTIVE, preventive measures. MEASURES, PREVENTIVE, preventive, MEASURES, preventive measures. Okay. Now let's talk one by one. First column, human disease. In first column, human disease. Okay. What will you write in first column in human disease? You will write the name of 4 disease. First disease name, write TB. Yes, write TB. In first column, the first disease name is TB. Write TB. Spelling of TB, tuberculosis. TUBERCULOSIS. Second disease, write the name of second disease in first column. Measles. MEASLES, measles. Yes. Now write the third disease in first column. Write the third human disease in first column. Chickenpox. CHICKEN, chicken. POX, chickenpox. Okay. Now write fourth disease in first column. Polio. POLIO, polio. Okay. TB means tuberculosis, measles, chickenpox and polio. Okay. Now in second column, causative microorganism. You will write the name of pathogen in front of disease. You will write the name of pathogen. You will write the name of microorganism in front of disease. Okay, first disease. We wrote first disease. What is the name of first disease? TB, tuberculosis. Yes, what is the name of first disease? Tuberculosis. So in second column, write the microorganism name bacteria. Write bacteria. BACTERIA, bacteria. Yes. In front of tuberculosis, write bacteria. Now second disease we wrote measles. Yes, in front of measles, write in second column virus. Write in second column virus. VIRUS, virus. Virus is a causative microorganism. Yes, virus is responsible for measles. Yes, next disease we wrote that is chickenpox. In front of chickenpox, write virus. In front of chickenpox, in second column, write virus. In second column, write virus. Polio, next is polio. In front of polio, write virus. Yes, virus. Okay. Now let's go to in third column. Third column is mode of transmission. Third column is mode of transmission. So, what is the mode of transmission of tuberculosis? Air. So, after bacteria in third column, yes, write air. Next disease is measles. What is the mode of transmission of measles? Air. Please write air in third column. Yes. In front of measles. Yes. After virus. Write air. Okay, chickenpox. Chickenpox. What is the mode of transmission? Write in third column air and contact. Write two word air and contact. Write two word air and contact. Polio. What is the mode of transmission of polio? Air and water. Yes. So in third column write air and water in front of polio. Okay. Now last column, preventive measure. How to prevent TB, measles, chickenpox, polio. The general preventive measure I had shown you. Okay. So I am reading in fourth column. You will write in fourth column. Okay. Complete isolation of the patient. Yes. Complete isolation of the patient. Complete. Complete. Isolation. Isolation. Isolation of the patient. So first preventive measure you will write complete isolation of the patient. Okay. These preventive measure are all for disease. These preventive measure for TB also, for measles also, for chickenpox also, for polio also. Okay, second preventive measure. Keep the person belongings of patient away from those the other. Keep the personal belongings of the patients away from those of the others. Yes. Keep the personal belongings. Yes. All the things of that patients, all the things of patient, keep away, keep aside from healthy person. Next preventive measure, vaccination at suitable age and time. Yes, vaccination at suitable age and time. Yes, vaccination should be given for TB, to protect TB, measles and chickenpox and polio at suitable age and time. Yes. There are many kind of vaccination is given in childhood. So vaccination are very important. Okay. So TB is caused by bacteria. Measles is caused by virus. Chickenpox is caused by virus. Polio is caused by virus. TB, the mode of transmission of TB is air. The mode of transmission of measles is air. The mode of transmission of chickenpox is air and contact, and the mode of transmission of polio is air and water. Okay. Now let's see two more disease, cholera and typhoid. In first column, human disease. What is the name of first column? Human disease. What is the name of first column? Human disease. In first column, write cholera, cholera, cholera. Okay. Okay. And second, typhoid. Yes, in first column write typhoid. Typhoid. Okay. In first column you will write cholera and typhoid. Okay, done. Now in second column, causative microorganism. Second column, what is the name of second column? Causative microorganism. What is the name of second column? Causative microorganism. So in second column, in front of cholera, you will write bacteria. Write bacteria, bacteria, bacteria. In front of cholera, you will write which causative microorganism? Bacteria. And typhoid, in front of typhoid also you will write bacteria. In front of typhoid, you will also write bacteria. So cholera is caused by bacteria, typhoid is also caused by bacteria. Yes, TB is caused by bacteria, cholera is caused by bacteria, typhoid is caused by bacteria. Okay, third column. Third column is mode of transmission. Third column is mode of transmission. In third column, you will write in front of cholera, water and food. Yes. So cholera is caused by drinking dirty water and eating dirty food. Water and food. Write water and food in third column. Write water and food in third column. And in front of typhoid, in third column write water. In front of typhoid, in third column write water. So by drinking dirty water, typhoid can occur. Okay. Now let's see preventive measure, means general measure. How to protect ourselves from cholera and typhoid. How to protect ourselves from cholera and typhoid. Okay. So first is maintain personal hygiene. Yes, maintain personal hygiene. Maintain personal hygiene means keep yourself healthy. Yes, keep your clothes healthy, keep your undergarment healthy, keep your hand neat and clean. Keep your clothes neat and clean. Yes. Okay. You should not play in dirty soil. You should eat healthy food. And good sanitary habits. Yes, good sanitary habits means cleanliness related habit. You should cut your nails. You should cut your nails. Yes, you should cut your nails. You should take bath every day. Okay. So maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits. Okay. Good sanitary habits means habits which are related to cleanliness. Habits which are related to cleanliness. Next is consume properly cooked food. Consume properly cooked food. Yes, you should eat cooked food. Yes, properly cooked food. Not half cooked food. Yes. And drink boiled water. Drink boiled water. Yes. For you should drink boiled water, and vaccination is very important. So first point, maintain personal hygiene. Maintain MAINTAIN. Maintain personal PERSONAL. Hygiene HYGIENE. Hygiene. And good sanitary habits. Sanitary habits SANITARY. SANITARY. Sanitary habits. Maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits. Consume properly cooked food and boiled drinking water and vaccination. Okay. I hope you understood. Let's move on to the next point. Okay kids, it's time to ask question from you. Question number 1. Write a short note on disease causing microorganism. Yes. Or you can say write a short note on pathogen. Or you can say write a short note on disease carrying microorganism. Okay. So we know that microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Yes, microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants and animals. Such disease causing microorganisms are called pathogen. Some microorganisms spoil food, clothing. Yes, some microorganisms spoil food, clothing. Yes. And if I talk about Anopheles mosquito, which is actually breed in water. Yes, Anopheles mosquito breed in water, and it is responsible. Anopheles mosquito which carries the parasite of malaria, and there is one more mosquito, Aedes, female Aedes mosquito, act as a carrier of dengue virus. When a person suffering from common cold sneeze, fine droplets of moisture carrying thousands of viruses are sprayed in the air, the virus may enter the body of a healthy person while breathing. So pathogen can transmit through air, through water, through direct contact. Okay, I hope you understood. Now second question, write the preventive measure for different diseases. Write the preventive measure for different diseases. For cholera and typhoid, let's talk about preventive measure for cholera and typhoid. Let's talk about preventive measure for cholera and typhoid. First, preventive measure. Maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habit. Point number 1, maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habit. Point number 2, consume properly cooked food and boiled drinking water. Vaccination. Yes. Point number 2, consume properly cooked food and boiled drinking water. Point number 3, vaccination. So point number 1, maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits. Point number 2, consume properly cooked food and boiled drinking water. Point number 3, vaccination. And for tuberculosis, chickenpox, polio, measles, what are the preventive measure for TB? What are the preventive measure for polio? What are the preventive measure for chickenpox? What are the preventive measure for measles? Listen carefully. Point number 1, complete isolation of patient. Yes, patient should keep aside, keep away the patient. Complete isolation. Yes. And keep the personal belonging of the patient away from those of the other. Yes. Keep all the things of patient away from other. And next point is vaccination at suitable age and time. Yes, vaccination is important. Now, we will meet in next class and we will see some more disease which occur in human beings due to pathogen. Okay, till then, goodbye.